Hello everyone, welcome back to my Football Manager save ideas. And so today we're taking a look at a team they probably haven't heard of. If you have heard of them, you might have forgot about them for a good reason because they weren't existing for a few years. We'll get to that in a second. So what is this team that we're looking at here? Here we have Metalist Kharkiv. And so where is this team playing at? They're in the Ukrainian second division. That's where they're at. And so it's called the Ukrainian First League, but it's the second division actually. And so why is this team interesting? Well, first let's take a look at the season preview. Let's just see something real quick. Look at these odds. 1 to 91 odds. It must be the highest odds I have ever seen for any team. Like I don't think I recall seeing 1 to 91 odds. That's ridiculous. Also note that the two promoted teams are also have really good odds of coming up. We'll get to that. But the point being is this team is stacked for this division. And why is that? Well, this is because if you take a look at the club info, take a look at the history, this team used to be a top flight regular, and they finished place in third. They finished in second in 2012. But as you can see here, it falls off a bit. What happened? 2015 and 16, they got relegated. Why? Because the owner stopped financing this club. So after 2015 and 16, the owner stops financing because they got banned from the Champions League for match fixing. And so this is where he stopped financing it, and then it just went downhill. And eventually they disappeared. But then 2020-21 they came back in the third division because the owner is back. He takes over the club again. The sketchy owner, Alexander Yaroslavsky, is back. And now they got promoted easily because this team is stacked, because they have ambition. And now they're in the second division. While being newly promoted, they're going to have 1 to 91 odds of going up again, even though they're newly promoted. Tell me somewhere you've seen something like that before. But anyways, so let's take a look at this team. I'll actually look at the squad this time because it is important since you haven't heard of these players. You might have heard of a few. You'll see. But first things first is you have some players that are way too good for the league. Here is your key player, Mateusz Peixoto. I mean, look at this. This looks like a decent striker, right? This is a solid player, and he's playing in the Ukrainian second division. Let's take a look at the comparison just for a second. Here's our best team. Here's us as the best team, excuse me. Here's the second best team, Podisia. Let's have a look at their striker. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, anyways, here's a striker. Look at this guy. This is a 2.5-star player. This is a good striker for this team. But we have guys like this. We have Brian Riascos as well. Look at these players for this team. Like, they have a lot of ambition, and they've spent money on these players. If you take a look at the transfer history. Okay, I said they spent money, but this isn't accurate. They don't have their signings, but okay. Let me try that again. So they spent money on these loan. Okay, this is broken because this team wasn't in the game before. But anyhow, trust me, they spent money on these players, and none of these teams ever spent money because there's no money in this league. Let's take a look at this league. I mean, this is all standard stuff, but where's the prize money? There's not any prize money. There's not a single drop of prize money. There's not a single drop of TV money in this league. So while you are over here, you're basically like a big daddy in this league, obviously. How do you make money, though, is the question. How does this team have money to spend while these other teams don't? How does this team have $7 million in the bank? How do they have $360K left? How are they projected to make all of this money? That is with their fan base right there. This team plays in the Metalist Kharkiv Stadium, has 40,000 capacity, and you can trust me on this one. This team will sell 30,000 seats every single game, pretty much. They'll sell out for like derbies and big games, but this team minimum gets 30,000 attendance. And so if you take a look at the ticket prices, which $1 because it's Ukraine, I mean, you're making enough money just from your fans to pay for all of these players. I've done a save of them, and if you basically have the same season I do, you should have about $7 million to spend first season going up. And so this team is perfect if you're interested in managing in a league perhaps you haven't managed in, like Ukraine. Start off in the second division. You have an easy season to learn your squad. By the way, also you have, this might be one of the players you've heard of, Kadeem Harris, who played for Cardiff, Brentford, played in England. He's now here in Metalist Kharkiv. And so you have your first season to learn your players. You can clear out some of this deadwood, as you can see. Obviously, they've upgraded, so there's these guys can all go. They're not very good. Well, some of them might be able to stay, but anyways. You can have this team. You have some. There is room to upgrade, by the way. There we go. There is room to upgrade. As you can see, the defending situation isn't the best. These are your center backs right here. That's it. This guy, Fedoriev here, is more of a fullback than a center back, but I guess he can do okay. And then you're stuck with a 2-star current ability, which, I mean, don't keep this in mind, because obviously, you know, this is a more experienced player save. You know the 2 stars compared to your team, so these are still decent players for this league. But in the long term, you might want to upgrade on those. So, anyways, yeah, you have this insane team. You have 4,000-seater stadium that gets 30K attendance, and this will go up if you continue to improve. Once you get into Europe, once you get into the Champions League, etc. Once you get into the top flight of this league, of Ukraine. So, what's the goal of this save then? The goal of this save is you come in and you take down these 2 giants right here. That's what this league is. This league is literally a 2-man league. It's either Shakhtar or Dynamo Kyiv. And last year it was Dynamo Kyiv. Usually it's been Shakhtar recently, but you want to come in and attempt to beat these guys, dethrone them, because no one has ever been able to. And with Metalist Kharkiv, you have the perfect team. This is the best team to do this, because you're back with a team that didn't exist for several years. You're back with their incredible fan base of 30,000 people that come in every single game. And you have all the facilities you need. Speaking of facilities, you know, all the assets you need to come in and take them down. It's going to take several years, of course, but that's what the challenge is, because you have to do all of this without any competition prize money. It's all reliant on your fan base and Europe. And so you can literally make Europe first year, because if you win the cup, it's going to be tricky to win the cup first year, because while you are a big team, you're still not quite on the level of these guys here. If you just, I don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, Manar Solomon here, you can see, I don't have a tribute masking on. There's no star ratings here, but you can clearly tell that this is a player that's way better than your team still. But in the future, you can still completely take this team down. You can take down Dynamo Kyiv, and you can build a nation with Metalist Kharkiv. And you can sign, if you want to keep a tradition, you can sign, Metalist Kharkiv also signs Brazilians like Shakhtar, even though they have 2 right now. But you can definitely sign more players. You can focus on developing from youth. You can sign players, you can do whatever, you can make a combination. It's all up to you. You have a fantastic team here to take down the big 2 Ukrainian beasts. And so if that sounds like a team that you want to manage, Metalist Kharkiv right here, please leave a like down below. Comment if you have any questions, because I can answer more questions about this team. I know a lot about this league because I am Ukrainian, even though it doesn't sound like it. I am from Ukraine. I just moved to the United States. And so I don't have much of an accent. I don't think I have one at all. But anyways, yeah, this team is a fun save. I've done several years with them. This is my current save. Let's say spoilers, maybe, kind of. I mean, can't really spoil this game. I'm 5 years in, and I'm still stuck at finishing 3rd, so, or in the top. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to come in and become the 3rd best team, but it is difficult to take those 2 down. So yeah, you're gonna have to keep plugging in Europe, doing well, building that reputation up, and so you have players come into you. And just keep in mind, one thing to keep in mind in this league is, if we take a look at the top flight, must be no more than 7 foreign players in the playing 11. So you cannot just go in and sign all the Brazilians you want and spam your team with Brazilians. You have to have at least 4 Ukrainians starting. And another problem with this team is, if you take a look at the rules of this league, it says there must be no more than 3 foreign players. So how many foreign players do you have? You have 5. So one of these, so 2 of these guys have to be benched. I'm sure you can predict which one's going to be benched, though this guy's got good technique, so you might want to play him. But you have to bench these guys, so make that decision. It's a tough one. But yeah, this is a fantastic save. If you want to manage in a country you probably haven't managed before, take down 2 giants potentially, build a nation, any of those or all of the above. this is the save for you right here. So hopefully this is an interesting idea that you enjoyed. If you're not going to try this save, hopefully you like the concept of these videos, and subscribe for more videos like this, because I'll keep going over many different leagues, many different teams, and the goal is for one of those teams to be interesting for you, and you can come and have a save to manage, because lots of people struggle with that. So thank you guys once again, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.